Well, good morning one and all. Here we are again on a beautiful sunny morning in South Aberdeenshire. Well, actually we're a bit further north of Aberdeenshire now, north side of Aberdeenshire, in SS4 on the Voly Grampian Forest Rally 2025. We're on a nice little stage called Clatterin Kist. So what's the latest, Ian, overnight?
Well, overnight we have William Crichton in the lead from Marion Evans, Max McRae, Gary Pearson, Callum Black, Johnny Greer, Matthew Hurston, and first the Scottish chaps, Scott Beattie, David Bogie, and then Alexander Vassallo and Mark McCulloch. But because the British Championship are seem to be running away with their results, is what to remember is that they were able to do a recce. So they've been through the stages, making their own pace notes twice, and in double used parts probably 4 times, some of these stages where the Scottish competitors or everybody else have to use subjective route notes, who is normally provided by 2 or 3 different providers, but for this event there was only one provider, which was Scott Maps, that Bill Sturrock and myself. So Bill, can you maybe give them some idea of the difference between a pace note and subjective route notes?
Yeah, I mean, the difference is that under MSUK regulations and rules, route notes are not allowed to give you any information relating to speed in terms of how you tackle a road or a stage. Basically, it's a story. It's a story about what that road does. Yes, you can give information about keep left and keep right and in and no cut, but nothing about being flat over a crest or flat, in terms of that information. You're not supposed to use the word cut. There are various terms that we're not meant to use at all in route notes. And the guys that are doing their own pace notes, they are very individual. You could probably take everyone in the BRC and not one of them have the same set of notes.
Well, we provide,
57 different formats
because they're extremely personal pace notes, and there are people that don't or can't distinguish between left and right, and various other things, and people sometimes take them as 1 being the fastest and 9 being the slowest, or 1 to 6 or whatever. Like Colin McRae PlayStation was in gears, so the number related to the gear possibly you were in going round the corner. So they're an extremely personal thing, whereas the subjective route notes are basically telling you what the road's doing, not what you're needing to do to, you can make a corner on a pace note, you can make a corner tighter if there's another corner hard behind it, just to kill the pace and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, for example, if you were coming down a big straight and going into a right 9 or a square right, and then immediately after that there's a square left, which is what you would say in a route note, in a pace note that would be a flat left, that second corner, because your first corner is very slow, or slower, slowing you down, and therefore you can carry more speed through it. So it would be a flat corner, not a square left or a left 9 or whatever your format is.
The competitors who buy subjective route notes can also buy a DVD, which is from either the bonnet camera on the front of the car or inside the car with the pace notes being read. So they do have a little information, but you still don't have the same, when you're doing a recce, you possibly try to drive into the side a bit to see if there's a hole or a stone, or if you can cut the corner, where from a video you can't do that.
No, and then that's where they rely on the information that we provide within a set of route notes to try and make sure that we tell them about where not to cut. Especially if there's a very obvious hazard, or sometimes a not so obvious hazard. Often there's culverts that are hidden, where they're overgrown and you don't see them. But, we've been making notes, I've been making notes in these stages, since the 90s. late 90s. And, you get to know a forest fairly well, although this Clatterin Kist was the first time it was used was last year. And it's a lovely little stage. But because last year the speeds were really close to the stage bogies, they've put in a tightened junction this year to try and just ease it back a little bit and take the pressure off, even with a higher average speed on the stages.
So we have cars now at the start of the stage. I believe the first car starts at 9:26, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But
right.
I think that's right.
We're about 3/4 of a mile
From the start line, yeah. We're not
start
very far
line.
in.
No, not at all.
And we can see the cars.
We've got a nice high vantage point, and hopefully the Stour won't be as bad as it was last night.
And we're hoping that we don't upset the other media that's in front of us here.
Yeah, ITV4.
With our talking.
But yeah, I mean, when I stepped in the shower last night, I thought my tan had all washed off. It was that brown in the bottom of the bath. Not that I had a spray on tan anyway, but it did look like that. I thought, oh my God, where's all that coming from? It was in places I didn't even want to know.
I cleaned the outside of my glasses before I got in the car, but I still couldn't see through them. The dust was about half an inch thick on the inside of them as well.
But yeah, it's a lovely day today, although the forecast was for rain coming across later on today. But I think it might skip past here.
Yes.
I watched the forecast early this morning. Sad, but I did. And it was, potential
It's certainly
rain.
not looking like it just now.
No, not at all.
Hardly a
Blue
cloud in the
sky.
Yeah. It's very nice. Very nice indeed. So that sounds like the first car on the way.
Yep,
That'll
here he
be
comes.
William Crichton.
William Crichton.
William and Liam Reagan and the Toyota Yaris.
I might take back what I was saying about the Stour.
Honestly, you can see the cars away in the distance.
Good job, there's a bit of a breeze. Get a nice echo around here.
If our static's working, when they kind of go out as shot at this first corner here, the square left, if you like, where the dust starts to really affect it.
Yeah.
Hopefully the second static will kick in.
Yes.
So you'll see them coming towards you, going up the hill, and then by that time I can maybe switch back.
Here's the
Here we
second
go.
car.
Second car
This is Marion Evans and the other Toyota GR.
I'm not getting a live feed on the Facebook page, Robert.
Right.
Oh, there we go, it's kicked in now. So we've got Christy McCallum has joined us from a sunny Dumbarton.
The next car should be Max McRae and Cammy Fair.
Bob Wiggins has joined us as well. We watch him from work in York. Then going up to Edinburgh to see Oasis. Oh, a bit hairy-wairy.
Be a fair bit of road cleaning this morning. This not being used since last year, so there'll be a lot of loose stuff on the top.
Yeah. William Brown saying good morning to us all. Mark Roberts and that second camera's working perfect, lads.
That's nice.
Willie
to
Nelson's
hear.
with us. Andrew Little. Richard Bunford saying Crichton was 5:31 the first stage. Evans was 5:36.6.
He's
Max
in a-
McRae
he's in a different class,
5:36.7.
William. So next along will be Callum Black and Jack Morton.
The dust's hanging.
Yeah, it is. Trevor Dempsey's joined us this morning.
So Callum is more of a tarmac.
Philip Edwards is
Expert.
watching in bed. Come on. What is this?
It's missing all this beautiful sunshine.
Michael Moat saying, morning everyone, you've got yourself a cracking spot. Thank you, Michael. Mark Brown saying, good morning from Devon. There we go. A wee bit of a gap here, have we?
Yeah, we do.
That doesn't bode very well.
No.
Whoever's missing. George Myatt has joined us. Morning, George.
It should be Callum Black next.
Oh. Wherefore art thou, Callum?
Car 6.
Speaking of
he's
Callums, we have another Callum over to our right, actually. Callum Mackenzie and his wife and daughter.
Here's Callum Black now.
Michael Ritchie saying good morning. Do you think he clocked in late to get a 2-minute gap?
Possibly.
Of course he
Possibly.
wouldn't have done that.
No, well,
Not at all. But as
I
you can see,
can't
the
pronounce
dust is
the
hanging.
name of the company that sponsors him. It's his father's company. I think it's Palatine or something like that. It is. They make the wiring looms. They make all the wiring looms for the Toyota Yaris, the Rally 2 cars.
Andrina Wallace is joining us. Saying good morning from the service here.
I'm
good
glad
morning,
you got the
Andrina.
name right.
And I got the name
Andrina.
right. Yay!
Andrina.
And Cliff Simmons has joined us from sunny Englandshire. Morning, Cliff. Dave Lister from Leeds. Donald McClay, from
So this
Ockhamshire.
should be, is it Romet? Jorgensen?
Jorgensen. Car sounding a bit better today. He's got a bit of work on to get himself pulled back up the rankings though. That problem he had last night.
It'll be a big ask to get
Big
anywhere
ask.
near William Crichton, but certainly a long way to go. They had an issue with the fuel rail.
A seal or something, I think it was.
It sounded really bad. We thought it was a helicopter at one point.
And Stuart Picathely's watching with Connor in an
somewhere-
airport somewhere.
Somewhere sunny.
Bolgona Airport in Italy.
Right, Stuart, we need to book Bill's car in to get the four-wheel alignment
Aye, we
done.
will, actually.
A couple of tyres. Right, next along is it Gary Pearson?
Gary Kenyon's watching, Paul Daniel and Lewis Brown.
No. It's not. It's Johnny Greer.
So Mr. Pearson, is he not meant to be next? There's maybe been a bit of a shuffle in the stage 3, which is Whitemoor, which is just across the road from where
No,
we
it's
are.
right enough. It's right enough. It's right enough.
Jock O'Brien's watching. Billy Collender saying good morning from Dumfries. And Mike Plum Stewart is watching Faye in Inverness Caravan Park.
Next along should be Matthew Hurst.
Fast Eddie saying great camera position today, guys. Well done, Robert. Robert takes a lot of time and effort to go and look at positions and does a recce of all the stages and finds the good positions.
This is Hurst.
Willie John McClellan's watching from Sanker.
No, is it? Yeah, it's Matthew Hurst.
Yeah. So Yorja Campbell is morning, guys. Got to have retired. Spectating today instead. Well, have a good day. Rich Bunford is telling us that stage 4 Crichton did a 309.5
And a 3.8 mile
Evans,
stage.
yeah,
Jeez,
Evans did 3:14.1, McRae 3:14.3. So very close with the McRae and Evans, but Crichton, he's away.
Yeah, certainly. He'll take a lot of catching. But long
Paul
way to go.
Glass is
long
saying
way to
morning
go.
all. Very impressed by the spectator special at Contour. Even seats laid out to watch the action. Oh, that's good.
That's good, yeah.
Go and have a look in the woods, Paul. There's a tank.
Yeah, aye, old chieftain. Next along will be David Bogie and Kirsty Riddick.
Oh, Andrew Little saying both Gary and Romet had punctured in White Hawk.
It's not Scott Beattie.
Scott Beattie. Yeah, there's been Andrew Little's just saying that Gary and Romette had punctured in White Hawk.
Oh,
So
right.
That's Scott Beattie, isn't it?
Yep.
That's why there'd be maybe a wee bit of a delay.
We will shuffle around because of that then.
Yeah.
Emma McKinstry has joined us. Or it could be Kenny McKinstry, I'm not sure, but I think it's Emma. If you've got any thoughts or comments you want to give us on what's going on in the world of rallying, then just drop us a message on the Facebook page for the Scottish Rally Championship, and we'll do our best to either answer them or give you a wee plug or tell us where you are, where you're watching, what's happened. We've got Robert Bullock in Argyll with us.
I think this could be David Bogey this time, and Kirsten Riddick. And the Skoda.
Yep.
Yeah, looks like it.
That car's not sounding...
Sorry?
That car doesn't sound quite right.
No.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Man, it's Stewry again.
Sticking to the teeth. Stop smiling.
Oh, there we go, it's cleared now.
Yeah, just gets wee gusts of wind in it.
Well, I could see nothing there.
Yep.
So, next car in.
The interesting thing on the auto cue on the bottom of the subtitle, sorry, on the bottom of the Facebook page, it doesn't like some of the words that we use.
And Hannah McCullough.
So Julie Stevenson's with us from East Yorkshire, wishing all the best to the Yorkshire contingent. Yeah, some folk have travelled far for this event. Bill Stewart, morning chaps. Glad it's you and not me in that dust. Ah, you're right. Mike Williams is watching. Gordon Hay, good morning again, Gordon, from Eccles. But it is a lovely day, and we've got a cracking view, really, apart from the Stour.
Yeah. Oh, it is a lovely day. We've had a lovely summer, to be fair.
There's no midges. In fact, there's not even flies. Last night was a bit of a plague with flies for a while, but...
Aye, we were a wee bit more sheltered last night among some trees and that. It's fairly open and... Is this we've got now?
R18.
It's Alexander Vassallo, Michael Gilby.
So Dave Graham was watching from Dumfries. Yeah, it was quite interesting last night when we drove back through what was SS1, where we were commentating from, looking at the condition of the road, and how little damage there was on the whole in that stage.
Yeah, it stood up fairly well. One or two corners. Believe the following stage, Harley Bog, it had been renewed, resurfaced the first 2 or 3 miles of it when we did the recce for the notes, and it's seemingly dug up fairly badly, and they're using it again today. But
Mark McCullough,
yeah.
Yeah, Mark, going well.
Going well, yeah. He's some support from Hardy's, obviously.
Obviously, Mark, after the Scottish, another good result, is still leading the Scottish Championship.
Yeah. I think he's 13 points ahead of David Bogey.
But there's drop scores to come in as well, so it depends what happens in the next two events, the Galloway Hills and then Grousdale.
Gary McDonald is watching. It'll be interesting, there's quite a lot of discussion being on the go on social media, things about the WRC coming to this neck of the woods in 2027 for 3 years. I mean, yes, it'd be fine if we got a WRC event, and in Scotland that would be just great rather than being in Wales. But I do have concerns.
Bruce McCombie.
Who have we got now?
Bruce McCombie.
Bruce McCombie.
Yeah, I think it is.
And Bruce is going well.
Yeah. was thinking this will be. He didn't do the Scottish, so this will be his first event since the Speyside.
Yeah. And he's on the pace. He's not far off the front end.
No,
the Scottish guys.
No, he was.
Oh, Jorga Kam was saying there's a big queue on the road to get into the BA Stage 5. Oh dear. Well, hopefully. Because the first competitors will be on their way there now. So
Yeah, they can't be far away. Right,
Bill Stewart, what would we have known this stage as back in the day, boys? I don't recognise the name. It's never been used before,
It's never
Bill.
been used, no.
This is the first, last year was the first time it was ever used.
And it's run exactly the same.
Yeah.
The next one along is Robert Proudlock, I think.
But it's on the west side of Whitehawk, which has obviously been used
No,
for
it's
many
not.
years.
It's another R5. A Rally 2. No, it's Ian Forgan.
So Colin Hastings is watching. So Jorgensen is 1 second behind Crichton on SS4. Oh well.
Yeah, but he's got a lot of time
A lot
to
of time
take
to
out
catch
of
up from
him.
last night. Yeah. Neil Redford is watching. Paul Alan Barbette is with us. Good morning, Paul. Fortunately, Paul's one of Paul's drivers that sat with Mr. Brearley. Alistair Brearley came to had a wee incident on SS1 last night, which was a shame.
He just got caught out. It was a caution crest left
8 on a 1 to 9 system.
1 to 9.
I think it was a 5 on the system.
And he just got caught out on the crest and ended up in the loose stuff and into the ditch, and the car rolled over its nose.
This will be Robert now.
This is Robert Proudlock.
Yep.
Yeah.
John Mackay is watching with us. So Bill Stewart saying, cheers fellas, it's about 5 miles from me, if only I'd known. Oh well. Good morning, Bill. Paul's saying good morning. That's you, Bill, doing the commentary, listening from the car boot. A car boot sailing, Charlie? Yes, Paul, it is.
It should be.
And I hope you have a successful day at the car boot sale.
Buying somebody else's tart.
Oh, maybe he's just selling that.
Possibly.
He's maybe selling rally memorabilia,
Oh dear.
like suits and
I think this
helmets
could be
and
Stephen
harnesses and
Petch.
things.
Think so, yeah.
Yep.
It's not, it's John Crawford.
Yeah.
You were close.
It's difficult to tell, and
So Monty Pearson's joined us. Morning, Monty. Your boy passed our position, what, 5 minutes ago, I think, give or take. Stephen Smith is with us. Yeah, so what's your thoughts, Robert, on the WRC coming to this part of the world, if it were to happen?
Yeah, well, I would definitely have concerns about the existing events in this area.
Yeah, that's where my concern would lie, is, what implications it would have, on the roads that are available for the Grampian and the Speyside.
this will be Stephen Petch this time, hopefully.
David Hayton's with it, Linda Hislop. Big shout out to the Team Crocs. There you go, Leslie. So Sandy Fraser, good morning guys, great coverage and commentary, thanks. Sandy Fraser, Durris. Oh, he's in Durris maybe. Martin Craig, oh good morning Martin.
Just going back to the World Rally Championship coming here on 27, potentially it could affect the Grampian and the Speyside.
Quite significantly.
Because that would be the stages they use. The problem being that for the amount of mileage that they would use, they would possibly use the stages 2 or 3 times, and it can be detrimental.
Really
it takes
They really destroy
which
road.
is, if you have one event that's using the stages and they use it a couple of times and it gets repaired just after the rally, but the next year it's in reasonably good condition or good condition. But if you've got one rally and then another hard behind it, they're not going to have time to repair or mend themselves. There's John Wink.
So Ali Campbell is waiting on SS5. Well, I hope you managed to get in, Ali, because I believe the queues are bad.
Is there a lot of people there?
Apparently it's really busy. The roads, queues, the
yeah.
main roads, chock-a-block with queued spectators.
Oh. It's probably the easiest way for everybody to see.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like we have some spectators here, and
Yeah.
must be about 10 or 12 spectators that we can see from here, maybe more actually. But
Bubble
they've had
hatters, because they've wandered in here.
But they've had a fair
They've
walk
walked.
to get
Yeah.
here.
Whereas we drove in. Lazy that we are. So Scott Innes is saying, can't make it to spectator sadly. I can't make it to spectator sadly, but glad you've got this live on air. And
Barry Groundwater.
Ian Griffin is watching from Queensland in Australia. There you go. Good morning,
right.
Ian. Ali Campbell in and seated. Oh, very good, Ali. I'm glad to hear that.
On the Scottish, we had a gentleman from Queensland, Australia, marshalling.
We did,
And
yeah.
no pity.
Yeah.
Fast Eddie.
Fast Eddie. Georgia Campbell saying there's lots of spectators on stage 5. So
I think the
Sumo
next car along will
FS,
be Bob
what car
Adamson.
are we on? Well, we're not on, because they've got reseeded overnight. They're not running in number order, because they would have been reseeded based on what the road position finishing position
I don't
was
think
last
it's Bob.
night.
I think it could be Alan Carmichael.
Charlie Blair's watching from Benidorm.
Alan Carmichael and Harry Walshaw from Ballymena.
Anthony Stoneman is watching. Bill Pittendreeson, I'm watching from my hospital bed in Dumfries and Galloway Infirmary. Thanks for the commentary. Well, hope you get better soon, Bill. Anonia Gold is watching. Oh, better be careful what we say now.
Who's that? Watching, sorry?
Anonia Gold. John Tit Committee.
Oh.
She's really nice.
It should
I
be
better say that.
Bob Adamson next.
So she
He's
says,
maybe one of
morning
these
from
cars.
Rally HQ. Good morning to you two.
Yeah,
And
one of
we've got a Scott.
Yeah, it's Bob. You can
Scott
tell by the
Honeybone
yellow.
is watching from New Zealand. James, we're getting
That's
far
even
from
further,
places
isn't
in the
it?
world this morning. In fact, it must be night time there, surely.
Yeah. Bedtime,
Aye.
probably.
Goes to bedtime. I have had on occasion had someone's wife come up to me and say, I've gone to bed listening to your voice, which is a bit of a concern. Obviously, the husband is watching the videos in bed.
I used to watch them. It was the best thing for putting you to sleep ever. But now...
But you're driving or am I droning?
Yeah, you're droning. The speed limit in the forest stages is 50 miles an hour, so when we do the DVD, we actually speed it up to 200 times.
250% the speed up.
250%. It's
So it's
actually
about
quite
37
funny
or 40.
listening to Billy. Sounds like Alvin the Chipmunk.
Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. So we've got
Steve Watt and Carol Williamson from Swansea.
got Johan Roccavilla saying good memories of the 2003 Peugeot Cup. Jings, going back 20 odd years there. Gordon Scott is watching from...
It's often the Peugeot Cup back then.
Oh, Western Australia and Oz. Well, I kind of guessed that Western Australia would be in Oz, didn't you? But no, good to have you with us, Gordon. Scott Innes, if the WRC came to the Grampian and the spectator Speyside stages, would there be enough hotels and rooms for spectators and all the staff that comes along with that? Well,
I would have thought Aberdeen would have
Aberdeen
been
would
able to cope with it.
yeah, it has got a large number of hotels, and there's obviously quite a lot out and about as well. So I mean, you know, folk would spread themselves.
Just Johnny Mackay
Yep,
and the Evo 7,
yep.
Rachel Matheson.
Very quiet car.
I believe that was Scott Beatty's old car.
I
Would that
believe
be
it
right
was,
saying
yes.
that, Robert?
Yeah.
And was that not Quentin Mills
Quentin
before
Mills'
that, or
old
Freddie
car,
Mills
yeah.
before that?
Yeah. So Russ Milne has joined us from Abu Dhabi. Jings, we're getting well international today. New Zealand, Australia. Abu Dhabi joined us. Rob Hay has joined us. We're getting busy boys this morning.
Yeah.
I noticed with some of the numbers last night, Robert, we had nearly 7,000 views,
Yeah.
That's good.
which is good numbers.
Yep.
For
It's an
it too,
escort,
the Ross
that's much I
Jarrett.
can tell.
Yep. Him and Paddy are having a fair ding-dong, aren't they?
Yes. Oh, he's got his window half up today. It was no full open.
Aye.
Oh, give it some.
That's it. Callum McKenzie over to our right will be having palpitations at the minute, I would think.
The cold sweats.
Cold sweats of
The fact that he sold his car,
Yeah.
now he realises that they're double the price of what he was when he sold it.
That was nice having a wee chat with him this morning.
I think Robert's asked him to come and have a chat with us later on. Hopefully he does.
Yes. All because of another escort driver.
It's 29, this will
One of
be
the-
Joseph Kelly and Killian
Peugeot.
Ricardo.
Peugeot.
And a 208, yeah, juniors.
That dust is certainly hanging about, isn't it?
It's one of the British Championship Junior Championship contenders.
I know. Somebody's had enough, they're walking out. Too steery for him.
Next one along should be Kyle McBride.
Alison Clark is with us and Dave McIntosh. And Justin Hincliffe is saying that he's watching from sunny North Wales. George Bryson is with us. That they do. I have Flintstones in Dubai, but Abu Dhabi do. Oh, very funny.
Yeah.
Dear, oh dear. Ashley Reid has joined us. Dave McIntosh, Alison Clark,
Ooh.
Brian Lunchbury. Have a safe day, everyone,
Yeah,
from the
Kyle
great
McBride.
North Yorkshire. For a WRC event, wouldn't Kildare A be a better basis, given the need for spectator visibility? The event needs access to a big population and the necessary local accommodation. But then it successfully was based in Wales, which I wouldn't have said was, a lot of accommodation around about some of the areas, but, Sambo Collis is watching, Heather McKenzie. Oh, what's she saying here?
Who's just over there?
I know she is just
There's
over
a fair
there.
bit of noise comes out of these Rally 4s.
Well, those Peugeots are very distinctive.
Very noisy.
Oh, Heather's saying that Ian is greeting the pair loon. Oh dear. You'll have stewy tears running down his cheeks. But Heather over there to mop his brow and look after him.
Sweet
and
as. So,
Scott Ennis saying a fair stew kicking up with that dust. Yeah, you're right, there is, Scott.
I'm not 100% sure who's coming next, if it's Paddy Monroe or if it's Jack Matheson.
Do I hear a siren?
I do hear a siren.
Drew Gallagher saying that's some Stewart. You're right, that is Drew.
Not a good sign, that.
Oh.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Well, it looks like there's been a wee mishap somewhere. Which is not good. Hopefully nothing too serious. So yeah, we'll once we have some information, we'll let you know. But yeah, it's unfortunate when these things happen. That's the nature of rallying. Unfortunately, it does come with its hazards, and all competitors are aware of that. That's why we have the safety checks before the event. They check the harnesses, they check the roll cage, the extinguisher systems. The car goes through a very extra thorough MOT, isn't it, Ian, almost?
Yes. Aye.
Been an ex-MOT inspector?
Yeah, I've done a bit of everything in my days. But yeah, there are a lot of criteria that they have to pass. The fire extinguishers with 4 nozzles and...
Alison Clark is watching from the hairdressers in Gretna with a head full of tinfoil and no Prosecco to report. Oh dear.
Yeah, Channel 4 on that.
Selfie required. Letty Richmond hand. Oh no, hope everyone's okay. Yeah, so do we. John McLeod, Scott Innes.
Should be a bit like you today, Bill. You having your own satellite dish, that baldy bit in the top of your head.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks.
So hopefully this is a short delay. The stage isn't blocked, but we can see there is a car stopped, so up near the hairpin. So hopefully it's nothing too serious, and we can get going again.
Steve Bruce is watching from Shetland. Bob Wiggins is saying that for the WRC it would be good to have a UK-based event, and if it does come, do you think they could rotate it with other locations, etc., each year to try and save stages? Well, I would doubt that, because the way the WRC tend to work is they work on a 3-year contract basis now, and it's single base. After 3 years they might move it, but for 3 years it would sit in one location.
I think there would be quite a lot of opposition to that as teams, because of the amount of effort they have to put into for the logistics and all the rest of it. And when they're actually making their own pace notes, they reckon that it takes 3 years to actually perfect the notes to. Yeah. So it would be.
Well, I remember watching.
It'd be difficult. I suppose it all depends on how they're treated and how it's received.
Yeah. There's also a financial implication.
Yeah, there is.
You've got to, it would appear it needs to have money.
Yeah.
To happen.
Yeah.
So
not a lot of money.
Councils are going to.
No, councils the way they are. They're but
I suppose Aberdeen's probably got as much, for rally basis, has probably got as much money with the oil-related industries that there is.
Visit Scotland might play a role. You never know.
Event Scotland.
Or Event Scotland,
yeah. Both of them.
David Gray's joined us.
But when you talk about the likes of, a Scottish Championship event bringing in, between 3 and 4 million into an area with an entry of 80 cars. World Championship, with the length of time they're here. You're probably talking double to maybe 3 times that.
3 times that, I would have thought,
So it does have,
Because again, what you do find is spectators will travel.
Spectators, yeah. The people that will travel here, and, the accommodation, everything, really.
So Kenny Wills is asking a question of Alison, saying, is Mickey sitting beside you?
Is this a dating site we've got going here
Well,
now?
It could be. We were a messaging service yesterday for somebody, and we're a dating site today. So yeah, the WRC events are changed quite significantly. It was quite interesting. I've got here beside me a road book, which I was given yesterday by Steve Rennie, and it's of the 1969 Rally of Great Britain. And I get the book open here.
That'd be before your time as well.
It was, aye. It was ran from the 15th to the 19th of November in '69, and it was the Royal Automobile Club's 1969 International Rally of Great Britain. And there were a total. It started in London and finished in London. And there were a total of, let's get to the right page, I think it was 74 stages. 73 stages.
What kind of
car? North did it go?
Is there an entry list there?
No entry list. It went, hang on, there were Locheck, Glentrool, Carrufftree, Glendaruel, Davilla, Glentress, Cardrona, Twigleys, Castleor, Craig, Walkup.
A lot of these stages you can't even get into now.
Benin.
don't
A,
exist.
Newcastle and Dodds. So yeah, it probably came up as
Into Argyll.
Argyll area. Yep, De Villa.
When
And
did you
Fife.
start in rallying, Robert? When did you start to get involved?
When did I start to get involved? What, with like navigationals?
Yeah.
1975-ish.
All right.
That's 3 years before me, and I was
You're-
78.
aye, yeah, I was 78.
That was in terms of, you know, we were competing in navigationals.
Yeah, that's what I did.
12
78.
cars.
Yeah. So yeah, so this so one of the first stages was at Silverstone. Then it went to Ferrum Group, whatever that was, then to Fullbeck, Boltby, Kilburn, Cropton, Pickerton, Dalby South, Dalby North, Stainsdale, Wickham North, Wickham South, Ingleby, Hamsterley, Shepherd's Shield, Wark, Sheridan, Tarset, Plashets. Tarset must be part of Kielder somewhere. Plashets, Gowan, Burn, Bewes Hoch, Deadwater, Walkup, Crake, Castleower, Twigleys, Cardrona, Glentresh, De Villa, Loch Achray, Ardgarten, Glendurul, Tynebruch, Benmore, Loch Eck, Glentoul, Carruftry, Benin, and it goes on.
The Trossachs as well then.
Yeah,
What,
A1,
what,
A2.
what would be the vehicle of choice for that rally then?
Oh.
1969.
An old Saab?
Yeah, I suppose being now Saab's right enough.
Yeah.
Would be
Newcastle,
94s.
Dodd, Greystokes, Grisdale,
96s maybe.
Oulton Park, Clocklainog, 1, 2, 3 and
Singer
4.
Gazelles and
Jeepers, Singer Gazelles, because that's right, that was my first car, Singer Gazelle.
Lotus Cortinas.
1725
The
downdraft
Mark
Holby
one-
engine
the
that had in it.
Mark 1 Cortinas. When did the Mark 2 Cortinas start?
And Brennan, Duvenant, Dovey,
Good
Parthent, Punt
Maybe into Mark 2s, or might even have been
Sarnow,
into
Radnor,
Mark 1 Escorts. They started in 69, didn't they?
Aye.
Rydal,
Well, the
Yestwith. Some of these
Mexico-
Welsh names
the
I can't
Mexico rally
pronounce.
was 1970. wasn't it?
Lambed,
Yeah.
Eppant, Reddings, Serridge, Speech House, Russells, Quantuck,
Yeah, that's
Brendan
when
1, Portlock, Brendan 2, last stage King Alfred Towers. There you go.
Ford didn't use their twin cams or BDAs at the time. They used a crossflow, 1760 crossflow, because they believed that it was simpler to repair and would probably last longer than what the highly tuned engines would. So that's why the first of the Mexicos had a 1600 crossflow in them. And obviously the name the Mexico.
Yes.
So I'm looking at the time schedule here. So in the London, it started at 11 o'clock, and you finished at Selby Fork Motor Hotel out. Compulsory halt was at 1945 hours, and then you restarted. Well, that was restarted. Sorry, you went in at 1908, back out at 1945. And then you compulsory in at 1:20 in the morning, back out again at 1:30. So right through the night they were rallying. And then a late breakfast halt at 11:30. Restarting at 2 o'clock. So yeah, I mean, you know, God, Prestwick Airport, Robert, was a stage.
A stage?
Yep.
Wow, right.
So some results in here if you're we've got William Crichton on 1823. Marion Evans, 1849, so 26 seconds back. Then 2 seconds back from that is Marion Evans. Sorry, I've pressed someone on the phone. I pressed the wrong button on
Your
the
daughter, Al, so and so.
Oh, just tell me about it. Anyway, we'll get
So
it sorted
Steve
out.
Bruce is asking, what's the longest stage today? That'll be stage 10, I think. Oh no, it might be Scare Hill, might be, or Durris actually, could be.
Doris,
They're using a
quite
different
long.
kind of route.
Yeah, Durris is
aren't
using a
they?
route they haven't used since 2015.
Yeah.
Was the last time it was used. So let me have a quick look at my schedule here.
Right, so back to it again. It's William Crichton on 1823, Marion Evans
Longest
1849, then Max
stage.
McRae 1851, and
Is
then
Scare
Callum
Hill.
Black 1908,
7.5 miles or
Johnny Greer
7.37.
1913, Matthew Hurst on 1921, Gary Pearson 1925, David Bogie 1926, just 1 second there. and then it's Scott Beattie. So David Bogey's taken 8 seconds out of him this morning. It was Scott. Then it's Alexander Vassallo in 1946. Then Mark McCulloch, 1953. Bruce McCombie, 1954. So there's just over a second between these two. Then Robert Jurgensen. He had a 3:10, a 6:15 and a 3:10. So he had a slow first stage this morning, stage 3.
Callum Wallace is saying, what would you think about the WRC running in the snowman areas? Shame the forest he wouldn't give enough stage for a rally this year. Well, that's a challenge with fate. One of the things, Scott Honeybone is saying Mark 1 Escorts were an Anglia back in the 69 maybe.
Yeah.
Scott Innes saying I think it would do an Escort Mark 1 won the 69 rally with Hannu Mikkola and Gunnar Palm according to Google. Fred McLean is watching. Fred, you shouldn't be watching. You should be out fixing that rocks at Greeben. Get that road cleared. Kev Murphy said it had 161 entries. Andrew Cowan was car 1. Won by Harry Colstrom and a Lancia full of according to the EWRC site.
They would be.
Angus Laurie's watching us. So yeah, I mean the longest stage back then, let's have a wee look to see if it tells me what the longest stage was.
The thing with a lot of these stages though now, you can't use them because the average speed, the cars were beating the average speed.
Yeah.
You know, especially these new. I thought I heard a car there.
We do.
Yes, I did. That's I started again. So
Escort.
yeah, good. That's good
like
that we've got it started. So it's Jack Mathewson. So he's obviously jumped up a fair bit from his seeding.
Yep. Well, that's good. They've got it cleared.
Yeah.
So Christine McConaughey is currently on SS8 Durris, fixing the stage furniture. Oh dear.
Did it blow away or has somebody stolen it or run it over?
Or a combination.
A combination, yeah. Okay.
Just looking at this robot, it doesn't actually give me an individual stage mileage. It's all accumulated mileages.
This could be Paddy Monroe.
Oh, it must be.
Going with the
That's
angle.
definitely Monroe.
Going with the angle.
That's
it,
Paddy.
Yeah. There's Paddy.
Giving that Millington a bit of death. Now Callum will have an even bigger tear in his eye now.
Yeah.
Oh, Fred McLean sent me a photo. Today's job.
Cutting the grass. Golfing.
Oh, he is cutting the grass. Did you know that? He got with a tractor. A hedge cutter or a verge cutter. Very good, Fred. Good to see you join us though.
So next,
So James Thompson has joined us.
Paul Thompson.
Oh, Chris McConaughey saying it's the wind, actually. That's a
Paul Thompson and Ricky
I don't
Finlayson.
really want to know he's got a wind problem, but never mind. Cameron Stout is watching. Steve Carter, wind with too many beans. Could be. Better make sure Callum's alright, is he? Oh yeah, he's not crying anymore, don't think. Well, maybe he is. Or we're getting a wee wave. Will Rowlands is saying good morning. Good morning to you too, Will. Paul Thompson is on it, apparently.
Will Rowland still competing.
Will Rowland, I think he's done the odd event, I think. Chris McConaughey said it was too many beers, more likely. Well, I could believe that.
So next on, John Morrison in the polo, is it?
Is it John Morrison?
I think it is.
I think it is, yeah.
It's John and Sinclair Young.
all these log stacks at the side of the road. And, you know, this doesn't look as if it's been recently harvested at all, does it? But there's still plenty of logs sitting about.
They were there 4 or 5 weeks ago when we did the
Murray Coulthard has joined us, and Jenny O'Kane says good morning. Good morning, Jenny. James Thompson, good luck to Robbie Wood.
So
Steve
next
Barkley.
up, Sam Mason. Another one of the juniors in the 208 Rally 4.
Steve Barkley saying that Millington is a swear word and can tail at the Munros. Sherwood all the way.
Right. BDAs, old school.
So Will Rowland says yes, he's still competing. He's doing the Woodpecker next and then the Rally Ceridian. Good for you.
Good.
It's quite a long hang up that hill, isn't it? You know,
yeah, these escorts that were going up there, it was like they were changing up.
It
was like the hill wasn't there. Just the torque these things have is unbelievable.
The acoustics where we are is great. It reminds me of a stage over in Argyll they used to have, and it used to have fantastic acoustics around the back of this hill. Can't remember what it was called now. It's in the back of Strathar, I think, if I remember rightly.
35. This is Trevor Gamble and Phil Kenny in the Rally 2. Phil competes himself in various Fiestas and Pumas and things, did single venue and target type events, but he's navigated for a lot of people. Did Scottish Championship a few years back, sat in with a bunch of guys in Peugeots in the day.
Yeah, the wind's picking up now as well, isn't it? It's getting a bit breezy. Shift the dust a bit quicker.
It'll shift the dust though. It's hanging in the trees over there a bit.
Yeah.
Do you think we could be back here in 25 years' time when all these trees over there have grown up again, Bill?
Well, if that's the case, I'll be 90.
This is Duncan Campbell, and Michael Cruikshank, some great VT man. Michael? Or Open
DC7
Reach,
on the car,
shall we say?
Eh?
Michael, the navigator, he works for Open Reach.
Yeah, Open Reach man, yep. That's what you used to do, wasn't it?
It was, back in the day. Before I seen the light.
You dial-up phones.
Yeah.
You remember the operator-controlled phones?
Yep. Well, I remember.
You're your age now.
No, well, we when we were doing our training, we were on Perth Telephone Exchange, and they had a desk in there, an operator desk in there, and you had to go in and repair the cords. The cords used to wear out where you used to pull them out. They had weights and that on them. And some of these operators were terrible. They used to wind us young laddies up, something terrible. There's another one of the Rally 4s.
30.
Jack Brennan, another Irishman. Jack Brennan and Ewan Doherty.
They're having to give it a fair bit of boost up that hill.
What's the next one on?
So Scott Innocent, it's a nice noise from the
Matthew Stroud and the escort.
The Matthew Stroud is now very famous because I named a set of notes formats after him. There's Stroud and there's Stroud Reverse. So he's a really happy chabby. Sent me a wee message this morning saying everything was working really well for him, and notes were working really good and he was really enjoying himself. wasn't too happy with stage 2 and not looking forward to the rerun, but apart from that, he says absolutely spot on. So thanks for that, Matthew.
There was one or two cars out yesterday. John O'Kane, he went off in special stage 2.
2 as well, yeah.
As did Ernie Lee. I think he hit a log that somebody had pulled out in the road.
Did John McCain not go off because of a hole that his daughter had?
His daughter had made a hole.
Created a hole and he hit it.
And the other one was Scottish Championship contender Neville. What's his name?
Martin McDonald, is it? No, Martin Erskine?
Martin Erskine.
Yeah. Martin Erskine, Peaker Stairs. It was Brett McKenzie. He and Barry Young, they went out on special stage 1 last night. When they went past us, they seemed to be coasting.
Yeah.
But a gearbox issue and retired at the end of stage 1. So
Gary Adam is watching, and Craig Parry has joined. Morning, Craig. Gary. Craig, you don't have time to be watching. You should be tracking. Ken McKinstry's watching. Family gathering here. Kenny and Emma online.
yeah.
I haven't had any feedback about the incident that was on the stage earlier, but hopefully everyone's okay. Stage did start fairly quickly after, so
Car's still
that's all
there
good.
by the looks of it. So 23. So this is Darren Martin and Daniel Hurst in the R5. It's unfortunate that Ernie Lee went out with he'd hired a Rally 2 from
Buckley's.
Don Buckley,
Buckley,
and he was going quite well when he passed
He was
us.
going really well. Him and Patricia were on a mission.
First time in a left-hand drive car. And,
well, like he said, it said that because the comment was made that had you ever driven a left-hand drive car before, and he went no, but in my combine the steering wheel's in the middle, so it's fine.
Yeah, yeah. So, but it's a shame he didn't get any further. This is Jack Ryan, I believe.
Yeah.
And Robin Nicholson.
Another good pairing, they've been going well this year.
Subaru Cup. Don't think the Subaru Cup's as well supported this year, is it?
No,
there's just 3 or 4.
3 or 4 of them, yeah. It does swing in and out of favouritism sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I bet Kenny McKinstry's got a Subaru tucked away in a shed somewhere. Come to the Subaru Cup.
Yeah, well, there's a few Caliber cars that he had. Caliber was a non-alcoholic beer, wasn't it?
It was,
Lager.
Non-alcoholic, that's right.
He was sponsored by them for a long time with Sierras and
Kenny could come and do the veterans
Subarus
classes.
and various things with that on it.
Fraser Smith, I think.
54.
Who have we got now?
Fraser Smith.
Fraser Smith.
Yeah,
Giving it
it's Fraser
he's
Smith
giving
and
it
Ian Parker.
a bit of effort. Clouds are rolling in now. Temperature dropped a wee bit.
Yeah, it does a wee bit. A bit of colour about them right enough.
Yeah.
Looks like it might be Simon Hay next.
Oh. Well, Callum Jaffrey.
Yes. Locals here in their Evo 6.
Evo 6, yeah.
Looks like it.
They come out just to have a good time, the pair. They just enjoy themselves. They always have a good laugh. But they laugh at themselves more than anything else, for what Callum tells me. So Dean Pugh is watching with us. So yeah, for those that have joined us, we're in SS4, Clatterin Kist. Competitors, the lead competitors will be through SS5 now and heading back to service before then going to stage 6, which was Scare Hill, which is Drumtochty North or Glenfarclas, depending on your knowledge. So yeah, that'll be interesting down there. See what
Alan Dixon next, and Martin Forrest and the.
So Chris McConaughey said, happy to announce that SS8 Durris is now all set up and looking awesome. Now waiting patiently on some rally cars. Well done, Chris. Eric Brown, well done team, enjoying great stage video, banter and info. And Davey Hattrick has joined us from well-known Tarmac Championship fame. Back recently from escapades in far west of Scotland at Machrihanish.
Yeah, really good event. It's a long way for
I know.
Good,
I noticed there was an appeal last night out for folk to help set up the Condor stages, I think it is.
Oh, right, okay.
I think they were looking for some folk to go and volunteer to assist with set up there. So
next on the start line's Gordon Morrison, Montana, and Charlotte McDowell and their the white Escort.
Ali Campbell's joined us this morning.
Yeah, aye, that's
Here
Gordon.
we go. Hang on. Oh,
A lovely car.
Callum's casting his Escort skill eye on their driving skills as they go around this corner to our right. And Paul Wilde is saying good morning from Otley in West Yorkshire. Phil Bremner in service at Crathy, car 56. Oh, hang on a second, what happened there? Car 56, come on Keith, get that Forenza moving. Oh, Keith, yeah.
Good.
Keith
So
Robinson.
the next one along will be Natalie Robinson and the juniors, Rally 4, Peugeot. He was going rather well when seen her last night.
Yes.
There's Sam Collis sitting beside her. Those that don't know, this is Matthew Robinson's daughter, and his wife's doing it.
Yeah, the whole family's into rally, aren't they?
Yeah, Matthew of Escort fame, and Natalie, his wife, is also doing it in a Rally 4.
It's a fair pull trying to get up that hill.
So next along, it looks like it'll be Rob Cotton and Ethan Kidd and the Subaru. That dust's hanging a wee bit, yeah.
It is, yeah.
Rob Cotton.
Nice sounding car.
And then I think the next one lined up to Molten Missile, Steve Bannister and Callum Hitchison.
Am I right in remembering Rob Cotton was the Subaru Cup winner last year?
Yes. So it's the Molten Missile will be next, so that's why Heather Mackenzie and Callum and daughter are here with a little banner, because it's 50 years of motorsport for the Molten Missile. Steve Bannister. So it's a great achievement, having 50 years in the sport.
And still competitive.
And still competitive, yeah. Here he comes with his distinctive striped white Escort with a red stripe over the bonnet and roof and tail.
Typical farmer, though, always hard up.
Oh, aye.
I wonder how many reincarnations of Ethel there's been.
Well, there'll have been a few. I think we had a big shunt off the end of Hindley one year.
He had a big shunt on Galloway Hills one year when I was doing
Yeah.
it a few years back.
Was that in the ice? I think, wasn't it ice?
Well, a bit of
a
snow
few
and
folk
that
got
about
caught,
right enough,
yeah.
aye. I can't remember it, the one that you go along Railway Road or something, that long and straight
Oh,
road
yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
go
That's
in.
into the bottom end of Clatterin Shaws. Starlet, yeah, Toyota.
Yeah, he goes very well with Starlet.
He was going well last night. Car 50 that was.
What number was it?
50.
Eh?
50.
50. Chris Richmond Hand and Izzy Holman.
Yeah, it's a pity there's not more of these Toyota Starlets, but I mean they are popular in Ireland, but they're not
Very.
so popular here.
I don't think they actually sold them in the UK.
Oh.
I think it was only in Southern Ireland they sold them back.
Oh, right, okay.
The rear-wheel drive version, anyway.
So if you're out watching some of the other stages, just tell us what's
Is this
happening where
Alan
you
Scott?
are. If you're at the
MTZ?
Spectator Special.
No, it's not.
Give us an idea of how many folk are maybe at SS5 watching, and
It's Callum Grafton, the KG motorsport car.
yep.
His tracker wasn't working yesterday either, so
No. The
for some reason he's not
if you're
showing up.
if you're watching in stage 5, give us feedback what's happening there, what you think of the stage, what you think, is it good, bad? Scott Ennis is saying, don't see many Starlets, seen a few in the rallies over in Ireland. Yeah, you're right, Scott, there's a lot in Ireland, but not so many here.
Next along is Alan Scott and Shayna Archibald.
Shayna
MTZ.
Shane
Archibald,
Archibald, yes.
Fair play.
He's coming along there.
Good wee cars these are. A lot of people use them in the Targa type events.
Yeah.
I think they're And next up will be Ross McDonald, Matthew Johnson and another Peugeot 208. This is a G&M Services car from Perth. Ross hires from them. This will be a well looked after car. They're good at what they do. They look after Paddy Monroe's car as well.
Yeah.
As long as a few others.
So the first car should be just to finish stage 5, because that's the first cars were due in there at 10:25, and it's now 10:28. So the first few cars must be in there now.
Next car along's 58, Michael Phillip and Laura Dawson, Ford Escort Mark II.
I think it would be. I think the merges and that will be quite a challenge there, I would expect.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see that.
Yeah.
Actually.
Another man giving an Escort a good. Run.
It's these short stages, like spectator stages, that
So
you used to have them all at the start of the RAC back in the day, and it's like for all the mileage they made up but they were so tricky and nadgery. There was a lot of people. You couldn't win the rally the first day, but you could certainly lose it. And it'll be the same here. You know, it's with the splits and the tricky bits in it. You could certainly be quite easy to make a mistake.
Yeah, well, we've got Peter Lees watching from Service Age doing a bit of spannering this weekend for Paul and Charlie Mathewson. We've got Michael Callow joining us watching from the windy Isle of Man.
John Runtoul,
Mark McGowan,
Ross
McGowan, Colin Grant, Colin Grant. Rossi has the toe down. Must be someone looking to buy a used car at the stage finish. So, John Lee Rollins is watching on the sofa while eating pineapple. Well, whatever floats your boat, I suppose.
Yeah, it seems nice.
Yep.
Right, this is there's a bulletin coming on spot on sport today.
A bulletin.
Christina Robinson and Graham Wilcox and Peugeot 208.
That's where we look to see what the bulletin says.
Yeah.
Wait till I get to the bulletins. Just hang on 1 second, folks, and where we look. Bulletins. Bulletin.
I stupidly forgot to bring my iPad, so I'm trying to do everything on my phone here.
Bulletin.
Again, this is Christina Robinson, Matthew Robinson's wife, and Graham Wilcox.
Just amendment at times, bulletin 3, but I don't think there's any other bulletins. Unless you're seeing something I'm not. If you do have any, if you are competing and you've got any problems, then each event has got their competitor liaison officers, and we have for the BRC it's Campbell Roy, and for the SRC and all others it's Amanda Morrison. So both doing a great job and trying to help competitors sort out queries and times and penalties.
Next along is Andrew Forbes and Alec Hill and Honda Civic.
So
doesn't seem to be going quite as quick as he should.
No, I wouldn't have said so, yeah.
Maybe he is. I think he's maybe carrying a small problem, to be honest.
Doesn't seem to be getting up much speed. Richard Glendinning saying stage 5 is running at 3 minute starts. Oh, presumably to close the gap from the delay on 4. Well, that could be.
Yeah.
Either that or it's a safety issue.
Yeah, possibly.
There was concerns about the
for
merge.
The splits, yeah. Next, Keith Robertson and Stephen Brown and Vauxhall Forenza.
Because they reckoned that the first car would take about a minute to get round the stage back to the merge point. So when the next car was starting, it would be almost one on top of the other.
Right.
Yeah, here's the Forenza. Lovely car.
I was speaking to him after the Scottish, and they run a ZF axle in the rear of that, and he was thinking for the Forest he's maybe needing to gear it down a bit more. But I would think that thing would have a fair bit of torque.
I thought so. Forenza were always a good engine.
Yeah, slant 4 lies on its side.
It's a bit like you, really.
Aye, on some days. Yeah, depends what way the wind's blowing.
Don't want to know
Cheeky boy.
that. Bill Stewart said, I've just nipped out from a paper. I can see the Stewart over the stage. Should have got myself up there.
Aye, you will.
Well, yeah, give us a wave then, Bill. See if we can see you. If you can see us, we can't
There's
see
Neil Cowan and Gail White and MG. I'm not actually sure that you'll see Wally's house for here. I think he's round that way a wee bit, round to the right.
It could be.
Oh, that's happened straight in front of us.
I think your eyesight's better than mine.
Yeah, I think that's happened. Trees.
Well, it could be.
And then
Bill Stewart, yeah, he's over to the right.
stays a wee bit to the right. Yeah.
Still got a car? Still got an escort?
Yeah, he's got the Mark 1.
Oh.
That red one, Mark 1 that Mike used on the Roger Albert, and Jimmy McRae used it last year. Yeah, I think he had an entry in for here, but didn't actually end up doing it. So this should be, I'm not sure who this is actually. Another tracker missing.
Another escort.
81.
Car 81. Stockdale.
Ben Stockdale
Yep.
and John Shepherd, yeah. Historic escort. That could be a Sherwood engine.
Yeah.
BDG.
Our ITV4 colleagues in front of us are not filming anyone else if they're not in the BRC, obviously. They've stopped.
So we can say what we like now.
We can, aye. Yeah, because they're only filming they're primarily watching the BRC crews.
Yeah, so
Whereas we're watching
the
everybody.
juniors would be the last of them, probably. The Rally 4 Peugeots.
They've apparently got a TV crew in every stage, if not
Oh.
more than one.
They spend a bit of money then.
Mhm.
So this could be Mike Moats in the Subaru. Mike
Yes.
and Gary McDonald.
Feather Moats. I don't know if
Mike
Junior
in the last
Mikey's
few
out
years.
watching today somewhere. He was last night.
Mike, the last few years, was doing the Subaru Cup, but I don't believe that car qualifies, does it?
No, I don't think. No, it doesn't.
No.
So, more modern car, trying something a bit different. Would I be right in saying that he won the Subaru Cup the last 2 years, or would I be wrong?
Not the last 2 years, no. It was Rob Court won it last year. I think
Did he win it the year before
the year
then?
before, I think.
Aye, yeah.
Well, here comes Mr. Mackenzie. He's going to come and give us a wee chat about the Molten Missile and his 50 years in sport. And rally, here he comes. He's still got a tear in his eyes. Hanky's out though.
Should be Robbie Woodens in the MG.
Well, Callum.
How you find gentlemen today?
Well, not too bad. How have you found it today?
Traumatic.
Traumatic.
Yeah.
You're suffering from shock,
Yeah, emotional turmoil.
withdrawal symptoms.
Yeah.
I did see Heather out with a hanky a few times for you, you know,
You're
mopping
lucky.
your fever brow.
If you're kidding, it wouldn't be so bad. I'd be here today if I could. If anybody's got a car and it needs airing, just give me a shout. It's good.
There's a good sunbeam floating about we've made you aware of, you know.
There was wee talk of that.
Yeah.
It said it was going up in prices. The conversation was going on though.
I think you should get a Starlet, Callum.
Do you know what? I was watching that wee Starlet. It's nice.
It's nice.
Yeah.
They are nice
Do you remember
cars.
David Eldar?
Yes.
He used to pilot that thing
Aye.
well with that. He had a BD in it, didn't he?
Yep.
He built his escort into that shell, because he couldn't get an escort shell, so
Put it in a
instead of
Starlet shell.
PDA, put it into the Starlet.
Yeah, it was nice.
So, Steve Bannister, 50 years.
50 years. It's just incredible. isn't it?
Incredible, I know.
Huh? There's people. Speaking to him last night, he was just as nervous as he would have been 50 years ago.
Oh, I know.
Which is telling you it's a mix of nervous and excitement.
Excitement,
So
yeah.
it's obviously still just as deep to the core as it was then.
I know, it's, you know, the once you're in the sport, you can't get away from it.
It's awful. In that respect, it's awful.
It's like an
You
addiction.
try. It is. Well, there's help for some people in addiction. There's no help for this, is there? But no, it's something else. 50 years or something else, and still going at it.
I know.
Still going well. I mean, there's a lot of people behind him,
Yes.
and he's still looking for these seconds.
He's still very competitive and he still pushes on,
Yeah, it's fantastic.
you know. So where are you off to now?
We'll go back to service for a wee
Back to
bit,
service for a
and
wee
then we
while.
might go to Durras.
Is your flag still looking clean?
Yeah, still looks the part. We'll probably leave that at service
Bit
for him.
stewy?
Bit sturdy.
Is that your own handiwork, Heather? Very good.
Yeah, just the part.
A dab hand with a sewing machine then. I do. You have to come and have a wee visit into Latham and see, get some crafting materials. Oldest craft shop in Scotland, you know. Probably.
I did
banner
a
for Banter.
close-up of it earlier on.
So who's been the people of the day for you guys in the day?
Certainly, I mean, you know, in the escort terms, Paddy Monroe and Ross Jarrett, I mean, they were having it was the same on the Scottish. They were having a real ding-dong on the Scottish.
Craig Gibson.
Gibson.
No.
Mathewson.
No,
think it was-
on the Scottish.
On the Scottish, oh yeah.
These two have gone hammer tongs at it. It's good to watch.
That's what you need. You need the crack. You
Well,
need
exactly, you know.
some battles going. Everybody's got their own battle.
Well, and,
It's
it's,
good
and
to have
you know, but there are a number of folk out there just for a bit of fun.
Yeah.
You know,
Yourself and
don't
Dougal
take it too
Brown
seriously.
back And these two, it'd be like that. It'd be a bit of a laugh.
In a few years, I have a daughter
Come
out
up with some kind
co-driving
of
for you.
master plan. Yet another master plan that'll epically fail and still miss another.
I'm sure you'll be back out soon. If Heather will let you.
Oh, she would. There's no problem. I was out with JC, took me for a run in his Rally 2 car at the test.
Oh,
and
right,
they-
okay, yes,
oh
yes.
My goodness, what machines they are.
I know. They handle so well and they soak up so much
It's unbelievable.
of the road.
To Steve Black regarding
Mike
Callum's
Grant, isn't
car.
Oh, Mike Grant from Elgin.
And Steve did the first round a couple of years ago when they bought that car new, and one of the first rallies it did was one of the national rounds. And I said to him, "Are you going to do any more?" And he said, "No." He says, "It's too fast for me." He says, "You get older," he says, "you don't have the reactions to deal with them because everything happens so fast, and they are so fast.
Yeah.
Because they've got the brakes, they've got the suspension travel. You know, half the bumps aren't there with them. They stop so quickly." He says, "It's just, you know, when you start to get a bit older, you just don't have the reactions to deal with that."
Taking in the notes at that speed as well, I guess. You know, like.
You have to cut out some of the stuff. You know, you have to go through them and take out what you don't need to know. You know, and yeah, that's not my call when I'm doing notes. That's the driver and the co-driver's decision of what they take out and put in and add or as they see fit.
Cameron Black.
I mean, it's
Cameron
gonna
Black coming, yeah.
It's going to sound really, really controversial, but it's turning into a wee bit point and squirt with that car.
Well, yeah,
you know.
it can be.
You don't see so much corner driving going on. You know, you don't see them attacking the corners the same.
Well, sometimes they just cut the corner. They just
I know.
take some of the cuts.
Make their own
they
road.
take aye, it's like they're half the cars off the road.
So what you're saying is you're missing the Scandinavian flick. Is that what it
I'm
is?
missing a bit of style, to be honest with you. You know,
That's why you
there's-
need to
there's
come back
not
out
there's
then.
not a
Give us a
braking-
bit of style.
Braking and driving around the corner. and really full again, you know.
Definitely that's the case on tarmac. They're just absolutely incredible. You know, they stop so quick and they accelerate, they're like bang, gone. It's like, you know, you put inch against to try and keep the average speed down, but it's just a bit of a waste of time sometimes. You know, it's like the speed that they go away at. It's incredible.
Yeah. And to a certain extent, that's where the
Megan.
REC, the Roger Albert Clark, brings it into its own in terms of, you know, there's none of the modern machines are allowed. It's all
Yeah.
older machines.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 220 of an entry. That's, you know. Yeah, going well.
Father ended up in the hole that she made in the scenery.
Yes, aye.
Stage 2.
The cars
So-
are quite impressive as well, that 208, aren't they?
Yeah,
Fairly
208's a
cover the
nice
ground,
car,
don't they?
yeah.
Look handy, well.
That car that Robert Proudlock has, that's a really nice car.
He's carries good speed as
Aye.
well, doesn't he?
Yeah, Rally 3 car, yeah. So, yeah.
These Rally 4 Peugeots, the 208s, are very, very competitive. You know, in the two-wheel drive class, you know, if somebody's driving quite well, you know, they even these quick escorts are struggling to keep up with them. And when you consider it's a 3-cylinder 1500 or 1600,
It's
it's like,
Mark Irvin.
I think this is Mark's third time in the driver's seat, I think it is. Normally co-drives, but third time driving.
that's a Rally 4 as well.
So-
Yes, that's the Ford's version of the
So Bill Stewart's just saying that Willie Stewart's company just up and serviced our boiler. So, who'd have thought it that we were both out rallying 30 years ago? Well, there you go, you see.
Stuart, I bought a Sapphire for 90, the end of 96, I think it was. I remember when he was trying to sell it, he gave me a biscuit with a cup of tea, and then when I came all the way from Stornoway to buy it, I never got a biscuit. I just took the cash and away with the car. Never forgot that, Bill.
Oh, you see,
yeah, need to watch
your card's marked, Bill.
Your
Your card is definitely marked. So Scott Young's joined us as well, but yeah, it's funny how you remember certain things.
Don't hold grudges.
No, I've got a big diary. I'm sure people probably have a bigger diary on me though.
So Steve Bartley's asking, ask Callum if he'll be around Paddy and Ross's times now. Do you think you'd be...
Not in my first rally back.
Take you to your second one. You'd be back on the pace then.
I think you'd need four. I think you need four. You need
four rallies, you think?
You need 4 or 5 rallies, would you?
Yeah, that or a bit of hard testing somewhere.
Yeah. Don't know. I'd give it a damn good try.
If Callum didn't think he could beat them, he wouldn't be coming back out.
That's very true. Yes, you had a fair turn of pace. So you do.
It was good crack, that's for sure. We're very, very lucky as well. We had some good people helping us.
Yeah.
It was very
Quick on the downhill bits.
It's important to be quick there too, though. Some people aren't.
No, another escort coming here, Mark 2. Bill Stewart saying that's a bit harsh. The Sapphire is still in use in Yorkshire, apparently, he's saying. So Andrew Ritchie's watching. Bill Stewart. Callum, you've been invited to come in for a biscuit by Bill Stewart.
See you in 20 minutes.
He's got the paper as well.
He said,
a biscuit, yeah.
I would
Does he need to bring my own, or does he say that he's going to give it?
No, he's going to give you a biscuit. It might be a dog biscuit, but you'll definitely get a biscuit.
Subaru there, Bill's bound to have some. There's a bit of pizza and some biscuits.
Oh, you get some. There's some homemade shorty I've made in the back of the van, back of the car. So Karen McIntosh seeing them all driving past my house. So yeah, you've got a personal invitation for Bill Stewart this morning. There you go.
It's all good.
You're all sorted.
This is some spot here.
It gives you an opportunity to bury the hatchet.
Aye.
Not in him, but at least bury the hatchet. Aileen Forrest, yeah. And Susan Shanks.
So what do you think about this WRC coming here then? Likelihood?
Well, we were just talking about that earlier, it's my concern is the impact it would have on this event and the space side, and what forest limitations would be given to those events as a consequence. Because the WRC events will, unfortunately, they destroy a road. They will destroy a road.
The World Championship will only come here if there's money. So, Events Scotland or the local council or whatever put up some funding for it. It does bring a lot of money into the area. It's no easy to quantify how much money, but they'll not come unless there's money put in here.
Bill Stewart saying you're definitely only getting the one biscuit.
Charlie Matheson?
Yep.
It's still shaped like a boat for the dog. There's young Charlie Matheson.
Matheson, yeah. There's another mini with Craig Wallace, isn't there, coming
That's
shortly?
Right, yep.
There must be 3 Mathewsons today then. Is that the
There
three
is, yes. Of Bangers and Cash fame, yeah.
Lovely family. Very easy to speak to. They're really nice to speak to. Charlie was runner-up in the Scottish Junior Championship last year, so this is his first year as a senior. Or he's still a youngster, but he's only 17.
Now he might be able to find you a banger for the right cash.
The right cash, that's the key bit, isn't it?
Something, there'll be one sitting someplace in a shed.
Yeah, just keep talking, keep bumping into people,
Yeah.
you just never know.
Donald Brooker?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
BMW, yeah.
325i.
Callum, one of them would be good. Those BMWs are entertaining.
Yeah, Yeah, they used to have a championship down south.
They
didn't
did used to have a championship down south, yeah. Not been so,
Did it not run in Scotland as well?
don't think so. If anything, it might have did on the Scottish one year, but that's about it. But yeah, I mean, they are good cars.
One of the first years I ran, Bourne does a lot of the body work for Don Buckley. He's Borders man. His boys, his two sons, do the single venue tarmac stuff in BMWs.
So Darren Cameron saying, wanting to go spectate at Durrington off the Slug Road. Durrington off the Slug Road.
Durris.
What time? It must be Durris, he
John
means.
Brownie.
It's about 2 o'clock.
Oh
I
yeah.
think.
John Brownie. Yeah, he wants to go spectate at Durris off the Slug Road. What time would I need to be there? Well, I'll just tell you what time we need to be there.
One of the rally magazines is like got a 4-page thing. All about
Durris
the car.
goes
Originally,
live
I think it was a
at 14:16 hours.
It's got a fair bit of history
So a couple of hours time.
and still going.
Brilliant, isn't it?
First cars are due in there, I said at 14:16. Then they go to service after that. So you've got a bit of time to get there.
It's a fair drag up that side of the hill as well.
Yeah. I was talking about this earlier. And the number of stages, they had to do 73 stages in 1969 on the REC. Thousands of miles, started in London and finished in London.
And the spectators had another rally following it as well, didn't
Yeah.
they?
It's been Neil Phillip, will it?
Yes. And day and night.
And when you think some of the stages then were the length of this event, you
Aye,
know, well, maybe
yeah.
not quite, you know.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, they were big
Yeah,
stages.
2 stages would
Yeah.
be,
A lot of them were dropped because the average speed, and because they weren't used, there's a lot of them like are all over the road, and they didn't keep the roads up.
Yeah.
I suppose to a certain extent. But the average, what's the average now up to?
70.
70.
Yeah,
in the woods.
in the woods, yeah. Yeah.
And they're very nearly beating that. This was, I'm not sure what the bogey for this was, 3 minutes something, and it was like 3:10 of them.
Aye, they're only a couple of seconds off the bogey.
Is this Cameron Murray?
It's a real quick stage, isn't it?
Yeah. Must be expecting to be dark. He's got his lights on. Yeah,
Just thinking the same thing,
Yeah.
speed all the way around there.
carried it well.
Yeah.
It's a fair pull up that hill though at that side. You know, you saw some of them were.
He obviously had a problem last night because, you know, looking at the way he's going there, he doesn't deserve to be away back here. You know, he'd been reseeded.
Yeah.
He's obviously not been quick last night. He's lost time last night. Somewhere.
So Bill Stewart's for a biscuit, and then to
So
service.
just need another call then to somebody selling a car.
Kyle Morrison, is it?
Kyle Morrison, yeah.
It's his first rally, isn't it?
Yeah. So Ian's mic is a bit. Oh, that's because it's swinging backwards and forwards between Callum and Ian. That's why they're sharing it.
Right, Chance.
You should come and do a bit of commentating sometime.
He did.
Just there,
I know, just you should.
He did it a couple of years ago in this event.
Yes, I know.
He was an emotional wreck.
Tissues are provided.
Yeah.
Well, you enjoy your rest of your
Yeah,
day.
yourselves, lad. Thank you. Bye.
Have fun. See you later.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
We'll see you in the forest shortly.
Martin Locke.
Yeah, Martin and Andy in the Subaru.
There goes Callum ringing out his hanky now for the tears. Right, Bill, they're on their way. Oh, Bill says he's moved house.
I was thinking more along the lines that he'll hand him a biscuit that'll be in the shape of a bone. It'll be a dog biscuit.
So he says he's moved house and I'm not giving out my address. Graham used to chap my car straight, including the Sapphire, sold to Callum.
Should be Steve McGregor and Malcolm Vai and the Evo 3.
Yep.
You know, it's nice to get someone else's perspective of where they think rallying is and their thoughts and of what's going on.
It's a man who was sold his rally car. He had a beautiful, well looked after car. He drove it well, looked
drove it
after
very
it
well.
And he sold it, and now regrets ever selling it, because now they're twice the price that he sold it for, you know, to try and replace it. But it's, you know, needs must sometimes.
So Matt Roberts is now watching with us. But yeah, I mean, you know, Callum was a fair pilot in his, you know, I don't mean in his day in a bad sense, but he still is, you know, but he could, he was right up on there with the best of them.
I'm not sure who this is.
Dave Retson.
Dave Retson.
That's who it'll be.
Left-hand drive Escort.
That's still looking fairly clean. So
Yeah. Must be one of the few left hooker Escorts there is running about. There's not many
a few
in this country.
Like Sir Murray Grayson back in the day always ran a left-hand drive car.
Yes.
But most people converted them. They're not particularly difficult to convert. That being a Finnish car at one time, well, it was built in Finland, brought over a few years ago. So, who have I got next?
Certainly getting a lovely long shot from here.
Craig Wallace.
Craig Wallace, yes, here he comes. The Kirriemuir Sparky. Jinx, at that point the wind gets right up.
And Richard Crozier.
So Lee Hastings is watching.
He's still going well.
Yep. A wee treat for his 40th birthday. To himself.
Yeah, hire car. The chap brought it up on a beaver tail truck. Couple of boxes of spares, so he obviously they're easy car to look after and run.
He was Craig was quite keen to make sure he had a co-driver that could keep him under control sitting beside him.
Yeah, Richard, fairly experienced, well, very experienced
co-driver, yeah.
And lots of different disciplines. He did the Heroes Cup.
Stuart Bannatyne, is it?
It is, yes.
Yeah. Going with what I see here, this could be the last car.
Car on the road, yeah.
Stuart and Ailey Williamson from Alva and Kirkintilloch, the Fabio. Right.
So is that about us for today then, on this or this morning?
The tracking system, that was the
last car on the system, apparently.
Yeah, it's a wee bit confusing because it's the start again, but these cars have already been through. So yeah, there's no cars sitting at the start, so it should just be the closing car. And, although in saying that, no, 82's Retz and 87 Stuart Bannatyne. No, that would look like that would be the last car.
So you know, we'll be concluding here shortly, and then you can join us again this afternoon. At what time will we be live, Robert? For stage 9, we have to get the Oracle piece of paper.
He's better footed paper.
It was Pooch. Blather Stour off it.
We go live.
20 past
Aye.
4
16:20
to be precise.
to 21
Well,
to be
so we'll be
precise.
live for stage side at SS9 Scare Hill for this afternoon's action, and we'll look forward to you joining us again. We hope you've enjoyed this morning's coverage.
And if anybody has any information on what's been going on during the rally, don't be
shy.
just give us a shout. All information is gratefully received, so as we don't have to sit here and make rubbish up.
Yep, and now we're all heading to Bill Stewart's for a biscuit and a cuppy.
Aye.
Oh, you haven't got his address. Oh,
Could
okay.
you move
So,
this? Aye.
Robert Beck and Ian Ray and myself, Bill Sturrock, thanks very much for listening, and we'll see you this afternoon. Goodbye.